Hey there, soccer fans. Welcome to episode 45 of the pod and episode 5 of Social Distance. Soccer Stupid, the podcast. Did I already say that? I can't remember what I said or what I haven't said. I'm losing it, guys. I've been in quarantine for too long. With your hosts, João Lui, and a special guest, VAR.
He's right here for me.
Oh, he's over here? Or he's over here?
He's down there for me.
For me, he's over there. You're down there, right there. You're usually
Hi, guys!
You're usually down there. You're usually down there. If you know what I mean.
You're over there.
How are you? But welcome to the pod. We are just happy to be alive during a pandemic. We're all staying home. We're all being safe. We're all growing beards. Actually, Louis, VAR, where are your beards? You guys shave every single day still?
I don't get a beard. I'm too young.
You're too young, that's right. But my son, he's 13, and he's got the Tom Selleck thing going on. What are you wearing? The folks who are just listening to this, Louis has just put on a Mickey Mouse beanie. I think that's what the kids call it. And I think he clearly lost his mind. I think he's finally gone over
the quarantine.
The edge, the quarantine edge.
Wait, I have an announcement to give everybody.
You're having another baby.
No, I just broke up with my buddy, this guy right here. Yeah, we broke up. We're no longer friends.
What?
He's too good for me.
Well, you don't want to say that because there is a possibility that they might want to be friends again. No. Hey, you never know. You never know. A janitorial position might come up just for you, Louis. Just for you. I think you can handle it. No, you can't handle it.
Yeah, I think the possibilities are there. So let's be friends again. Please.
So in this pod, again, it's another week has gone by. We survived, but it's also another week of no live soccer. And I make that same joke. The only thing live on television these days is CNN. We got a lot of nose picking in here. Folks who are just listening, check out our YouTube video where Social Distance episode 5 will appear, and you will see that it's not just our horrible voices, it's also our horrible mugs.
Hey, by the way, have you noticed that? Wait,
Anthony
before you go on.
Oh no, he's back. Woo! Oh.
No, I was gonna say, have you noticed that I'm also wearing my headset this time around?
Yeah, you sound a lot better.
Did I? Good. So I want to make sure that everything was going to be perfectly fine today. So I went and bought, probably stole it, but I got these headphones. So we're good.
Very nice. Very nice. So here's my question to you, Louis. And VAR, you can have a voice here. How are you guys coping? How are you guys coping without live soccer? Please share.
Go on, Anthony. Go ahead.
Share.
I mean, not only soccer, but there's sports whatsoever.
I'm not done.
Oh, sorry.
Share. Okay, now go.
Let me know. Oh, I mean, soccer is the greatest sport, but there's no sports whatsoever at all. So it's kind of boring times. No sports. Miss them all.
Did you guys ever see that joke?
I never watched golf, but
did you guys ever see that joke about like women were not able to keep men inside the house, and now like the virus is the only one that has been able to keep men inside the house.
No. What's gonna happen?
Do chores. Anyway, so the virus has done things that women has tried but have failed to do.
Remember, I called you this week 1950s machismo. There's a good example of 1950s machismo over there. You're Bobby from La Bamba. By the way, that's a great movie. It's a great movie. That's one of my favorite movies. I've cried to the end of the credits. Not my music. Not my. Terrible. Just terrible. So, you know how I've been coping, guys?
I don't know.
You know what this is? Do you see this right here?
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
The jerkies.
I've been making
Beef jerkies.
I've been making. Hey, careful! I don't want to tell. You don't want people to think that I've been making homemade beef jerky. Homemade beef jerky.
Yes,
I'm telling you guys, do it. You have so much fun. You just need eye of round or any of the rounds, any lean beef. You get like a teriyaki marinade. You marinate for 24 hours. Put some hot sauce. Put some garlic salt. Put some like everything in there, and you get a by dehydrator, and then dehydrate it for 5 to 6 hours.
You know, I'm about to have a
It's
heart
fantastic.
attack. I don't want to push it. I don't want to make it come even closer. So you do you, and I'll do me.
Oh, dude, it is so good. Joao's famous beef jerky is so good. So good. So good.
You know what else is good?
Hmm.
Luis's iced tea is good.
It's iced
Very
tea.
good.
Famous iced tea. It's vodka Louie. It's vodka Louie.
Forgot about him.
I did something that I've never done before.
Calm down, Transformer. Calm down.
Did I go glitch out for a second there?
Yeah, you did.
Yes.
It's still
What'd you
happening? It's still
No,
happening?
you're good. You're good.
I'm good now?
Yes.
Var says I'm not good. Var says I'm not good.
You saying yes?
Oh, okay. I couldn't tell. He's glitching out. No, it's not. That's not true.
That's my turn.
No, what was my question? Now I forgot. I forgot what I was saying. What was my question?
What was the question, Anthony?
I've had too many of these.
Var-
I can't remember. What was
It
I
was
asking?
how are we coping without?
No, that
was right out.
just 2 seconds ago.
That tells you how much
I had a train of thought.
attention he's paying. Yeah, you had an actually interesting
Oh wait,
thought.
did you just ask right now?
Yeah.
We're just talking about your jerky.
No,
and
it's
then-
after.
And then I was going to say, how do we get to this part? Or how do we get to this moment? I was about to say something,
Yeah.
and you guys said I'm glitching out. Oh,
Yeah,
I don't.
you know what I've never done before is what I said. That's what I asked. You know what I've never done before? I've never listened to Louie until now. That either. You have to watch the YouTube channel to see what Louie was doing with the pink
No, it's good like this. It's
purple
good like this.
trophy.
It's good like this.
So
You
when
cried.
I say listen to Louie, you told me in the last pod, hey João, there's a Brazil national team docuseries on Amazon, and I watched every episode. It's about 7 episodes. It's about the 2019 Copa America and the build up to that.
What was
Louie,
that?
don't fall asleep, please. Don't fall asleep. Don't fall asleep. There may not be any people on this podcast besides myself who's a fan of the Brazilian national team until they met me. But fans out there, it's a great documentary series. Watch it. It's kind of like, you know what it kind of reminded me of, by the way?
He still has a tag on
Oh, he
it.
still has a
He's
tag.
gonna return it.
Well,
He's
$400
just ordering it for the episode. He's
Well, you
ordering
know
it
what?
for
It's
the
very
episode, so he
small.
goes
Did you
back
buy?
and
Did you
return
buy
it.
that podcast? Did you buy that for the podcast? Your
actually, it
Messi
was a
jersey?
gift. It was a
Just so you can
gift.
go return it.
And actually, it's funny story. When this jersey was given, I was like 20 pounds lighter, so it fit. So now it's like
You bought
super
it-
tight. Look
You bought
at
it. You bought it like a week ago.
this. This is my goal right here. Like I gotta fit on this shirt correctly.
Every shirt's tight to me. Welcome to my world. Welcome to my world.
This shirt is asking me to take it off. Like he's like, please let me off of you. Anyhow, you were saying about the documentary.
Yeah, and all I was gonna say is I don't even have to mention the team's names. I don't want you guys to get upset. But it's what it kind of reminded me of was sort of like the Sunderland story in a sense where it's an unprecedented behind the scenes of their prep, but also the mental game. And you imagine every single team, every national team, every club team going through the same rituals, the same, fears. And it's really, what's really interesting about it, you guys might find it interesting, is that you have these big players, right? You get how long has Dani Alves been playing? Think about how decorated he is. And you got, obviously the, Firmino's, and you got Alex, and I got my Allison Becker, by the way. Here we go. There he is.
He looks like
There
every other
Bobblehead
top,
thingy.
top thing, whatever it's called.
I got
You want to see? You want
I
to
got my
see?
striker. I got my striker and my defense here. Go get it, Anthony. Go get it. But what was interesting? Oh, he's got Joker and Naruto.
Yeah.
Watashi wa no
Wicked.
tanjoubi wa 7月28日。 I just yelled at what my birthday was. But it's interesting. It's interesting to see these guys who are at this stature. But I think it was Danny Alves who said in it, like, you think about how long you've been playing soccer, but it's like playing the game for the first time in every match. So it doesn't even matter who you're playing. So nobody goes out there and goes, we got this. Especially when you're playing like a cup. We got this. We've been doing this for years. Like they're just. I mean, you just see like the fear, the panic. That sort of feeling never goes away, no matter how long you've been in the game, no matter how many goals you've scored. You know what I mean? I found that kind of interesting. What do you guys think about that?
I agree with that because there's a lot of pressure, and you can lose your starting lineup, or you could be out of the starting lineup if you don't do well, right? So it's every time you have to prove that you belong to play with the rest of the starters. So there's a lot of pressure. So I get it. Especially when you play with teams like the Brazilian teams. We're talking about the national teams right now, but like Italy, Germany, Argentina, whatever. Like they need to show up because if you're not good enough, man, like the next game you're gonna be on the bench, and you have to work yourself up again to be able to have another chance to play. Bart, what do you think about this?
I agree.
That's it. I need to hear more than you. Then
this is why we never mic'd him.
I think you took the words out of my mouth.
He doesn't even watch soccer. He watches anime, and that's it.
Anime.
Yeah, that proved
I watch
it.
everything.
That proved it. But yeah, it's really interesting, especially like for the fans. Like when you're the Argentinas, you're the Brazils. Like there's a lot of pressure. I mean, there's so much history there, right? I mean, it's like you got to step it up for the team. You got to be the best. I can't even fathom the pressure.
Oh yeah, I mean, these guys are like they have to be mentally stronger than other countries. Because they have to, because they know the fans ask for them. Like the fans are very critical. Like if you don't do well, you'll hear it. I remember there was a time.
That was VAR, by the way, whose phone ruined the podcast. Or was that in my ear?
My phone hasn't rang.
Oh, God damn it!
Damn it, Joao.
It was in my ear. Yeah, my text messaging went off. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to interrupt. Please continue.
You need to apologize. You need to apologize to VAR, man. VAR,
Please. I was offended.
I'm so sorry.
So anyways, talking about the national teams and the players and the fans and the country, if you are ranked, in the top 5 in the world, you're expected to win. That's it. You're expected to win. If you don't win, it's a failure for those countries.
It's my everyday struggle.
In Argentina and Brazil, in South America, are kings, right? And I'm sorry, Uruguay as well. Those 3 teams are like kings. So whenever
Uruguay.
Anyway, so those 3 teams are expected to win. So when they don't, the fans they kind of go against them. Like they always kind of like rebel against you, right? You're like, what the hell? You have Messi, you have Neymar, you have Luis Suarez. What is going on? So whenever they lose against the good teams, meaning like like the Brazilians, Argentina, it's okay, or Uruguay. But when you lose against the Peru or Venezuela, that's where like
we lost all our Venezuelan and Peruvian fans now.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah,
actually, Peru isn't playing.
They just put their headphones on. They're like, and the bad teams like Peru and God damn it.
I'm glad they don't speak English there.
That was a dubbed translation into English. That's what that was. Yeah, I'm totally with you. How about you? Have you watched anything good? Have you watched any? I still have to watch the Stevie G documentary, which I will. I promise. By the next pod. Have you watched anything other than Sunderland these days?
No, I started watching the Apache, Carlos Vélez, and that's a very intriguing story too. I always thought like Brazil was the only country, well, not the only country, but one of the countries in South America that had the struggling areas, the favelas, right? But watching the Argentina documentary or series, whatever that is, there's also like bad parts in Argentina where like you can get killed at any time.
Oh yeah.
You know, like you
Just
steal somebody's
favelas in Los Angeles.
yeah, well, so they they have the similar parts, and where Carlos Vélez or Tevez lived, there
Yeah.
was a lot of crime going on, and it was amazing how his
A lot of
uncle
crying or a lot of crime? Like a lot of
crime
like.
crime.
Oh, crime.
So
Yeah.
Carlos Tevez, his uncle was a big uh, personality, and he helped him to keep straight. And even though he was surrounded by all this negativity, somehow he found a way to continue on his soccer, and we know what happened. He played for big teams he played in England, he played in Italy, and he was also a starter in the Argentinian team. So it's a good story, man. It's a good story. I'm not done with it yet, so I cannot give you everything, but it's I recommend it. I mean, I know you're not. We sometimes we kind of go against each other, where you watch Brazil and I watch Argentina, but sometimes it's okay to do a crossover.
Absolutely, yeah. No, watch the Brazil one. Again, I don't think you'll hate it. I don't think you'll look at it. There's actually, I meant to message you things like episode 3 and 4 that they talk about that 7-1 defeat against Germany in the 20 whatever year, whatever. Oh God! But
You went blonde. You went blonde that year. You went blonde. You
I
remember that?
certainly did.
No, you got to remember that. You went blonde, and
I don't remember. I have no recollection of any of that. What are you talking about? Oh my God, what are you talking about?
dude, I'm gonna look at my Facebook right now, and I'm gonna find a photo. Bar, you can take over. Bar, you can take
Var,
over and
do
just
not
talk.
take over.
Yeah,
Anything.
I'll look for the photo. I'll look for the photo.
Yeah, that's
Do
Var's
it,
job.
do it.
That's Var. Remember, that's Var's job. Var's supposed to be doing research and all that stuff. I actually
I'll
got
find
to
it
know.
right now.
By the way, your job was in question there, Var. The other day,
Who?
somebody hit me up who listens to the podcast and was like, "Let me know. Let me know when you want me to be Var," because he didn't even speak up once the entire podcast.
I'm not allowed to speak. That's why.
No, but also I forgot for about a week that I forgot to put your audio track in for the last
that, and I'm threatened to.
I'm so sorry about that, by the way. You know what's funny about it? That I was driving. I actually had to go pick up a grocery order, and it was like 13 minutes into the podcast. I realized that he wasn't in it. Oh, listen! He's talking to Mama. Hey, Mama. How do you say beautiful? Muy bonita.
Estamos ocupados. We're busy.
My mom was asking, "What are we doing?"
Tell her
What are you doing?
we're doing what's called a podcast show. Mama, this is going to be on YouTube.
Hold on, let me put her on speaker so you can say something to her.
But then we lost your video. We lost your video,
dude. We lost your video.
The guys who were just listening to the earpods.
I'm back.
Louis and Var's mom joined the show. Now she's part of the joy. Ay, muy bonita.
Huh?
Hola, mom.
You liar.
I don't lie. I never lie.
Guy, you liar.
So who's your favorite son? Is it Luis or the little guy?
Two.
Now you're lying. That's fantastic.
It's Louis.
Oh, it's Louis. Aww. Hey, I have a question.
Look at the space. It's like me.
I have a question for Mama. How come they can't grow beards? How come they don't grow any beards at all?
Porque
Natives.
no usan.
Porque no tenemos.
Oh, porque no tienen. Porque son calvos. Son calvos de aquí no tienen.
She said we're bald.
I know, and I was wondering why. Why is it?
Es que Luis se los quita así, ¿ves? Ya no le sale.
En inglés, dígale.
En inglés.
Because she said. Let me translate. She said because you guys aren't men. That's what she said.
I understand speak Spanish.
Well, welcome to Soccer Stupid, the soccer podcast. This is your first episode. You're our second interview. You're our second interview today. This is a great segue, by the way, Louis, because now we could introduce our first interview ever on Soccer Stupid, the soccer podcast. It's with Rob Holloway from 90 Plus Extra Time. And here, check it out. All right. So this is our first interview, by the way. Don't cry. Don't cry. Don't cry. And I want to introduce to the podcast. I hate that shirt. I hate that jersey. Rob from 90 Plus Extra Time. Did I say that right? Is 90 Plus Extra Time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic podcast. Anybody who's listening to this should check out and listen for Rob's 90 Plus Extra Time. I'm trying to say it right because I know in the podcast before I've said it wrong a couple times. And I'll hear it later. I'm walking my dog, and I'll hear it later. And I'll go, "Oh, what a jerk!" And I'm way too lazy to go back and edit anything. So.
Aren't we all? Aren't we all?
But you see is what you get, man.
Yeah. So I want to introduce you to Soccer Stupid, the podcast, with your host, João. And what is that? What is on your head there, Louis? What is that?
I think it's my boss. Or my former boss.
Former boss. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Yeah. We'll be talking about that today, I'm sure.
Listen to that.
But, Rob, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So my first question, my first question in our first interview. Oh, look, he's crying. And Louis doesn't cry. He doesn't have any tear ducts.
I gotta take some of these iced tea.
Yeah.
I feel better.
But my first question is, you have a podcast, a soccer podcast. There is no soccer right now. Like, what are the things you're doing? What creative things are you doing to, get it going and get the conversation going? Let us know how that works out. By the way, I'm a terrible interviewer. This is my first. I have no idea what I'm doing.
This is my first time being interviewed. So, but first off, thanks for having me. I've been listening to you guys for, I think, a year now, or close to a year. But honestly, before I say anything, you guys are the reason why I even have a podcast. So I was listening to a lot of soccer podcasts, and some of them are, better than others. And I was looking for something new to listen to that wasn't like overly stupid. Something that wasn't overly produced and had a bunch of sponsors and too corporate. And I found you guys, and I was like, these guys decided they were going to make their podcasts. They just went out there and did it, and I enjoyed listening to it. So I was like, you know what? The next day I'm going to start my podcast, and here I am. I mean, now we're talking to each other.
Look at this. Look at this. We inspired you to bring your podcast together. Is it one of those things that you've been thinking about? This, like Louis and I have, we made this joke that we're not kidding at all. I think it was like during the 2004, 2006. I'm bad at math, but one of the early 2000. It was not 2002. That's too early. 2006, right? No.
Let me check that. World Cup.
Somewhere along that. Just imagine like the early 2000s. We talked about having a podcast then, and it took about 6 or 7 years for us to go, fuck, let's just do it. What do we need? A microphone? We need a computer? Let's make it happen. And so like, was that sort of like your experience where you're just like, I've been thinking about this forever. Let me just do it.
Man, I had so many different ideas. Some of them I might still use, or I might pass on to you guys to like try. But I had a bunch of stuff. I was going to do a YouTube channel. I can't tell you how many YouTube channels I set up, how many Twitter accounts I had, and I just never went through with it. It was always like, oh, I need to do so much research. I kept pushing it off, and then just decided to do it after listening to you guys. So, but I got a lot of ideas. Like I said, I'll share those with you guys offline. I don't want anybody to steal those. So.
Yeah.
Well, one thing
Rob's ideas right here. Rob's ideas.
The thing that I appreciate about you, Rob, is that you don't mind sharing. When I was listening to your podcast, you always tell people, hey, you have nothing else to do. You can make your own podcast, and you give them the instructions how to do it. And I think that's very generous of you, because sharing is caring, right? A lot of people don't feel that way. A lot of people feel like, I want to make it. I don't care who else is out there, but I appreciate that, because you're putting it out there for anyone who doesn't have nothing to do during these times, and for them to actually have a hobby, right? Where, eventually can make money for them. So thank you, sir. That was very nice of you.
Yeah, I mean, why not? We're all sitting at home, doing whatever. Some of us are, just sitting around drinking, and then some of us are actually,
I don't know where Louis is on here, but he's either here or he's right here for me. He's right here for me. Drinking.
But and to answer your other question, just trying to find stuff to do because I'm like obsessed with soccer. I call it football on my podcast because I was in Europe.
Yeah.
But I call it it's soccer to me. I'm an American.
We call it we try to combine it and we call it sacer.
Right? So now I'm just watching old matches. I play a lot of FIFA, reading books about it. Just watching YouTube videos. And if this thing goes on any longer, I'm seriously, because I have no skills. That's why you guys didn't see me do the toilet paper challenge, because I've never played in my entire life. So I'm
João has the same problem.
I was going to say, like, I had a fat roll, which made it a little easier for me. But still, I didn't beat you, Louis.
You got the jumbo size.
That's right.
But I tried it. I recorded a video and everything. I was like, this is terrible. I mean, I could hit it like maybe twice, and it just looked ridiculous. So I've been thinking about getting a ball, getting some shoes, going outside, and practicing some of the normal tricks.
Don't miss a mask. Yeah,
absolutely. But just trying some stuff that people, normal people that have even like a little bit of soccer skill can do. I can't do any of that.
Yeah. Louis, you were almost a professional soccer player, right?
Yeah. Didn't you see the skin color? Come on, man. I almost played for. We've been involved. Believe it or not, my first passion is basketball. I grew up watching. When I came, I'm actually Salvadoran from El Salvador. That's why he makes fun of me. So when I came here, I mean, basketball was a big thing. Football, American football. So that was like my sport for a long time. I am a little bit athletic. It's always been active. So soccer, it kind of came naturally to me. I mean, I don't have any skills, but I can play a role in a soccer team. So I used to play for a Deluxe, right? The company we used to work for back in the day. We used to have a league, and we used to play there.
I'm gonna have to bleep that now. Nice going, Louis.
I know. So I mean, we played for a couple of years. So I mean, after that, soccer has been my life. With João, we talked about it. World Cups, we made bets.
So much I'm sweating. Look at this. I'm like dying. I'm dying over here.
Well, that's good.
Sorry to interrupt. I'm like.
So anyway, so now soccer is everything. We play soccer and we watch. And now it's a little harder because I have children, but before, man, that's all we did.
Yeah.
All we did.
Yeah, and I did not play soccer. I stopped playing sports when I discovered marijuana when I was like 13 years old, and I'm like, yeah, sports. This is way more fun. Way more fun. But believe it or not, I was very sporty. I used to play soccer. But I remember that time, Louis, when we had you guys tried to get together like a bunch of people for like some sort of game, and I told us on the pod once, like, I had like a sandwich. I downed like 2 beers. I'm like, let's do this. And I ran like I've been like, practicing with the Brazilian national team for like 2 years. I like ran as hard as I could. Not even like 10 minutes. I was like dizzy, down. I almost died. And I'm like, never again. I'm just going to watch it. That's my passion. Just watch, admire the greats, and then, leave it to the greats. I'll talk about it.
I remember that day because like, you were dying on me, man. We're in the same team, and I was like, João, you know what? Yeah. Just go play defense, man. Just go over there. You don't have to run much. Go, man.
Can't do it.
Good time.
I've never played. I mean, I've played like little games, with some friends or whatever when I was younger, but I've never played on a team. Yeah. I have no dribbling skills whatsoever.
Yeah.
I would definitely be a defender. If somebody ever really, like, if I was on a team, I would be like the head cheerleader because I literally cannot play.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, it's not a game for everybody. It's like, I think it's one of those sports. It's not like baseball, where baseball truly is a sport where, you can watch it and you can go, I think I can do that. But soccer, right away whether you can,
absolutely,
whether you can do it or not. You know what I mean? And it's like it's just one of those sports. But that's why we have our FIFA 20 passion, right?
Exactly.
So
can live it through there.
Rob's been kicking my ass on FIFA.
Oh yeah, dude.
Kicking my ass.
I was listening to the podcast, his podcast earlier today, and he did mention that he ended up being 4-3.
Yeah.
He really made fun of you, Joao. By the way, just letting you know, man. He really went after you, bro.
But he's beat me. He's beat me
it's
since
kidding.
then. He's beat me since then. So,
but I feel like every time I do, like I think I beat you, if not once, twice. But I feel like in both times I'm like, did he do that on purpose?
because the one time I played with Stuttgart and you played with Liverpool. So
yeah, there you go.
I mean, that's like Cristiano Ronaldo playing me and one-on-one or whatever.
I have a confession to make though. I got on to people about not playing their clubs and it is annoying. Like when you go out there and it's like searching for a player, like you can almost guess like Barcelona, and usually it is, and that's annoying. But I played. What was it? I had like I had to win this game or I wouldn't. It was at the end of the season and I wouldn't get promoted. And I had like with Liverpool, like Luis was talking about it yesterday. Like, dude, your record is just draws. Just Hey, but at least I wasn't losing, right? So it's at least a tie. So I decided. My confession is.
Wait, is it D for dick or?
You son of a bitch. I played as PSG, and I crushed Liverpool. Actually, I crushed them 3-0, and I'm like, "This is my team. This is my team."
They're good.
When you see me out there, I'm gonna be PSG now.
So he just became like the rest of the world, right? Where
Mbappe!
They pick the team that is gonna win, not their actual club that they root for.
Mbappe hat trick. Mbappe hat trick. It was awesome.
He can't miss. Man. He cannot miss in FIFA.
Yeah,
but it's the same thing with like Van Dijk. Van Dijk, you cannot get the ball past Van Dijk on Liverpool. I hate him.
Unless you're me. Unless you're me. Here's my weakness. I'm gonna give away my weakness. I play was it a 4-2-2-2, and my weakness is when I am playing defense. I will control all of the guys.
Yeah, I do the same thing.
And then I end up just taking everybody out of formation, and then everybody just scores, and that's how everybody scores. I'm just so frustrated, like trying to stop the ball, and that is my absolute weakness. This is why I lose constantly.
Matrix
defense. It's awful, just the worst. What are you drinking there, Louie? What you drinking there? Tea. Is it
good for your health?
Is it vodka Louie?
Hey, now that I'm home and I don't have to drive, it's got to be something here, man.
I got the official telework beer right here.
Yeah. Yep.
It's cheap.
The beer that started the whole thing. Especially the Corona. It's Crown Brewery that does them all. They do Corona. They do Special, whatever. Yeah,
Modelo.
I bet you their stock is like.
Oh,
now's the time to buy. Now's the time to buy.
That's true.
Wait, buy their stocks or buy the beer?
And both. I would say both. Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah. And then buy more when you lose money. Yeah.
Wait, by the way, we Joao and I, we give credit a lot to people that can do the show by themselves, because for us it's hard just to like sit in front of the computer and just talk.
Yeah.
And for you to be able to do that, in your podcast, that's pretty awesome. Because we can't. I cannot see myself. Yeah, I cannot see myself just talking like, "All right, guys, how are you today?" Well, Liverpool and so good job, man.
What is your process? I mean, do you have like a list of things you're going to talk about, like your bullets? Like how do you know what you're going to say?
It's funny because you can probably listening to it. You can probably tell when I'm just rambling versus when I have like a script that I'm going off of. So when I first started, I mean, I was like you guys. I had all these notes. I had like index cards. I had like a tablet too, so I was like reading notes off of everything, and I was like taking like 40 minutes to edit the show after I was done, and eventually I was like, I'm not doing that anymore. So it would just get a little bit easier too. I knew the flow. I didn't have to do so much editing, and so now I just like will write a sentence down and be like, yep, I'm going to talk about that. Yeah. Or I'll have my phone and I'll be like, yeah, okay. I'm going to talk about that. So I tried to get my wife on in the beginning because I have a couple of episodes where she's like reading stuff off, but she's like, I'm never doing that ever again. Don't ask me to do that ever again. So.
Yeah. I another confession, when we first started the pod, I tried to do the process. I hadn't pulled in Louis yet because I wanted to see if I was even invested enough to get Louis involved in it. and I tried to do the whole by myself talking. I couldn't do it. Like I would continuously like stop it and have to redo it, and like I just couldn't do it. Even like the little recordings in the podcast where it's like, "Hey, listener, check out." I took me forever just to get get that down. You know, I don't trust yourself. So kudos to you. I need Louis to make fun of me for me to start my next sentence.
Well, we make fun of each other. It just works out.
But it does. It's a great formula. You know what I mean? It works.
That's our formula, Louis. We always talk about we don't have a formula. That's our formula.
We're stupid.
Fun of me.
Stupid.
Oh man!
When I first started, most of the episodes before I came to Texas, I was literally just sitting on my bed, and we had a closet that had like a mirror on it. So I'm sitting on the bed, looking at myself in the mirror, and just talking, holding my microphone like this the whole time.
I couldn't do it. I would just be saying things to myself like, "Wow, you suck at this."
Yeah.
Listening to your podcast again, I try and like catch up all these little points you were giving. One of the things that caught my eye was that, dude, you're by yourself. Your wife is in Germany, right?
Yep. And my kids, my kids are in Colorado.
You're making Louis jealous, by the way. He's like, how do I get that?
Before we go on, Joao, we should send them that meme where the guy gets asked, right?
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
You saw that? Yeah. B. I'll take B.
I'll take B.
Oh man,
that'll be me all day,
Rob
bro.
took B.
No, I would.
No, Rob actually got it. He got B, man. Look at him. He's by himself.
Yep, my wife and stepkids, they're in Germany, and then my kids are in Colorado, so we're all spread. And then my wife came here to visit. We were doing house hunting and whatnot, and she left like 3 or 4 days before the travel ban happened. Ooh. So she went back to Germany. But so I got to say hi to her.
Bad timing.
My dear, I love you. Thanks for listening.
Say hello.
We love you too. We love you too. Yeah, it's like it's it's got to be tough too. Because we joke around all the time about family and the problems that we have. But like even like when I go away, sometimes I'll I would do a business trip and I'd be so excited about it. But then like 2 days in, I'm like, I miss everybody.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I think that would happen to. I think it would happen to Louis. There's a heart in there somewhere.
Well, you know what? Because your kids are older, so they're more independent. My kids are like needy.
I would miss
24/7.
I miss them when they were young.
I need a break, bro. I need that break. No, I need a break, man. I need a break. Straight out.
This is your break.
Option B, sir.
Wait till they get older. I got a 15-year-old, and I mean, if it wasn't for eating, you would never see him.
Yeah. Don't tell me that. I'm not ready for those days yet. I'm not ready. Well, Rob, it was great having you on the show. Again, you're a pioneer. Maybe you're going to start this whole new Soccer Stupid thing where like we'll be reaching out to all the podcasts of the world. But we'd love to have you back. And maybe we were talking about it the other day that you're much better than VAR. VAR's he's got nothing, right, Louis? He's got nothing. So,
he's just an image.
We gotta make fun of him. We gotta make fun of him at least one show. One show is he listens to it and then he just goes, "Oh." He actually to end this. He worked in the same company as me, and he would have his headphones on. He would turn to me. He goes like, he's listening, and then when he would get to that part, he goes.
Well, that's why he quit.
That's why he quits. Oh boy! But it was great having you on the show, and thanks for joining our show. And we'd love to hop onto your show, shaking hands, high fives. But we'd love to hop on your show and and see how see I'm terrible at interviews. I could have ended it.
No, absolutely,
so smoothly, and then I just went.
Yeah, just let me know, and we can make it happen. It's not an issue. I'll be happy to have you guys on the show. Then I won't be talking to myself, But one last thing before I leave, like I said, you guys inspired me to start my show, and also you guys are the reason why I changed the name of my show. So in the beginning, it was called the 90 and Extra Time Podcast, right? And so I'm listening to you guys' show, and you mentioned it. I was like, oh my God, I was like freaking out, and I'm like talking to my wife. And then I'm like, wait, but he said the name wrong. I was like, he said 90 plus extra time. So I was like, So I was like, okay, whatever. So I changed the name to 90 plus extra time, and that's what it's been ever since.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
Good job, João.
Yeah, that's what
You've done something right in your life.
Right. I ruin lives. It seems like I'm ruining life, but really, I'm making I'm enhancing somebody's life. That's what I do. That's what I do. Awesome, Rob. And I will try to step up my FIFA game. All right.
Oh, I still subscribe to the PS4 online thing, so maybe I'll check it out. Man. We can play.
Okay.
Whoa.
Dude, I'm gonna get beat, bro. I'm gonna get beat.
Yeah, you are.
I'm not that good. I'm not good at all.
Dude, I saw it.
No. I'm the
But
worst.
know that I'm gonna play with a team that I actually like. Not like other people here. I'll be playing Barcelona.
Oh,
Not like PSG. Like
PSG was my 2014 FIFA 14. Mbappe!
yeah.
All right,
That's
guys. We'll see ya.
All right, Rob.
gents.
Take it easy, brother.
See ya,
You guys have a
Rob.
good one.
It's
Thanks
all
for
right.
having me.
All right. See ya.
Bye.
Bye. And what a great interview. What do you think, Louis? 90 plus extra time. Great podcast. Again, if you haven't heard it, listen to it. And we were pretty inspirational in his life, huh? Isn't that what it sounded like?
You know what? I really like Rob, dude.
Yeah.
That guy is like, he's like as cool as the other side of the pillow. Anyway, so we had this chat with him. And,
My pillow is always hot. My pillow is always hot.
Not the other side, dude. Not the other side that you're not using.
I keep flipping it. It's always warm.
Anyway, so thank you, Rob, dude. Thank you for your time. It's great that we had this chat with you. You've been trying to set it up for a while now, right? And just getting to know him, man. He's a very interesting person.
Yeah, and then we should get set up in FIFA. He will kick your ass. You'll feel terrible about yourself, and then
whatever self-esteem I have right now, it's gonna be gone.
Well, I'm hoping your self-esteem gets so low that I can start beating you again in FIFA. That's
you
my goal.
did already, so whatever.
That's my goal. Actually, if you look at it, I think you and I are tied. You and I are so. We should talk about this for like 2 seconds. You and I are so even.
Yeah,
Believe it or not, we were so even on FIFA.
Well, what are you doing,
All right.
Bar? Oh, you found it?
What's going on, Bar? Let's see.
You gotta put it really close to the camera.
For the
All right,
folks-
so I'll show you guys first a picture
Yeah.
of the signature of the contract.
So just to
skinny?
just to recap.
I was
Wow,
skinny!
look how skinny that
I
dude
was
is.
skinny.
I'm about just as fat. Just gonna let's do a quick backstory, and for the folks who are just listening and not looking at the YouTube video and seeing these wonderful mugs that these clean-faced gentlemen and my Corona beard face. In the 2008.
Can you check
It seems
that
like
out?
this was 2014.
Okay, so the 2014.
Joe,
like
2008.
It feels like a long time ago.
1977?
That's right. I was in Africa in 2008. All right. So in the 2014 World Cup, as we know, Germany destroyed Brazil, and to this day, my confidence is shot. I lost my job. I lost my wife. I lost my kids. I'm now selling oranges on the street because of how Brazil lost that game. It took me out of it. And again, if you're just listening, Louis was cheering that entire time. Before all that had happened, which of course none of us could ever imagine such a fate, we had what's called a contract that we wrote up. And on the contract, and show the picture again, and you can see this on the video on the YouTube channel. And I will, yep, there we go. That's us.
Yeah,
That's the contract.
The guy on the right is good looking.
I actually had the contract, by the way, and I'll post it. You know what? I'll post the contract. I'll post that photo. Louis, Anthony sent it to me because I always have trouble finding that photo.
Is that a flat top?
And then I'll show, probably. And then I'll show what happened in the end. But basically, we had a bet, right? And in the bet, one of us, whoever the team that was the most winningest, so the team that lost, whoever's team lost basically in the World Cup, would have to dye their hair blonde it was like a 30-day challenge. So, right? Something like that?
Yeah, 30
and,
days. Yes.
And So Brazil goes first. This is the semifinal. They lose 7-1. So in order for me not to go blonde, Argentina would have had to have lost by 8 goals. They would have to have lost by 8 goals for me to have.
Well, Argentina went to the final.
So Argentina, yeah, and they lost. And that was one of my favorite things is Messi going up, so sad, going up the thing. Second place, gets the silver. He's going up so like he had this like
nobody won. Nobody won, Joao.
That was nobody won that year. But I went completely. I had to go blonde. And what's ridiculous about that is that there's no 30-day blonde. There's no 30-day blonde. Your hair is blonde until your roots grow back in, and I shaved the shit out of it once any black came in. Yeah, there's me at my beautician. She was very happy. I'm laughing because VAR is showing the photos of all my.
Such a champion! Damn it!
And the finished product.
So I will. There it is. And that's actually not the
fire.
Not the finished product. That's the
fire.
There's the finished product. But she had to put the color in. They bleached it to get all the color out. So it's that horrible neon color. And then
You're welcome, world.
By the way,
you're welcome.
Yeah, I'll post it on the Soccer Stupid podcast. Could you send me all those? I don't know if I could.
Wait, are they on Facebook?
They're on your Facebook page.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Can you download those, Ivar?
I think I lost that shirt, man.
Send those to me, and then I will.
Oh, what?
And then that's what I did. I had to shave it off, and then I had my beautician have some fun with it.
You went from ugly to horrible.
It was terrible, absolutely terrible.
Terrible.
Yep. And then and that's me going completely bald because the minute it went a little bit black, I went and I had to shave it to like a number 1.
You want me to send them all to you?
I ruined
it. Send them all to me. I think it's a good document. But one, I hate you, and two, I still to this day people talk about remember when you went blonde, and it's followed me my entire life. Thanks. There goes Louis with the dildo FIFA trophy. You get a picture of that. What do you guys think? That does it for episode 45 of Soccer Stupid, the soccer podcast, and episode 5.
Sounds good. Hey, just before we go away.
Oh, I'm not done.
Okay, go ahead.
Social distance.
Go ahead.
Okay, now go. That was it.
I was going to say.
Hey, I just want to finish my sentence. That's all.
I just want to say thank you, Rob. You are a great sport. We asked a couple of stupid questions, and you were all willing to answer them. So thank you. And again, we talked about maybe doing another. Maybe next time it's not going to be an interview. More like we can replace VAR. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh no, he's crying.
No,
that was so fast. He went right to the.
I just took that bandit off. Like, oh. Anyway, maybe we can have 4 little squares here. So, Rob, you're more than welcome to join us again.
Anytime.
Great sport. So we thank you, Joao. You suck sometimes, but whatever. You're good. I love you.
Yay!
I love you. Or VAR. So that's what I have to say.
Anthony, and thank you guys to your mom. It was great to meet your mom.
Thanks to my mom.
To find out who was actually her favorite, me. And I think we had a good podcast, and I think we'll do another one. What do you guys think?
So what do you think, VAR? Are you going to be available?
He doesn't like to talk.
I'm in.
Even though he's mic'd now, he doesn't like to talk. He's not used to this freedom he's never had.
So much, yeah.
I don't know what to do with it.
You can write. You can read poetry. You could sing songs. I mean, there's a lot you can do with your voice these days. Come on, man.
Yeah, next time you should have like a poem about soccer, like
do it. That's
be
your
or not to be.
That's or what are our homework assignments, right? So let's end every podcast with a homework assignment. So Var's got to write a poem about soccer by the next podcast. I have to watch this DVG documentary and the one about.
That's easy.
Who's that guy? Who was the guy? What was the name? You can send me the name of the one. What was that podcast about?
Tevez.
Yeah,
Carlos
yeah.
Tevez.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch those 2 documentaries before the next podcast, and then you gotta watch the Brazil. Both of you guys have to watch the Brazil one. You guys are over here. I think you're over here, maybe over here. I don't know.
I'm right here right now. Anthony is right here. You're like about to be here.
You son of a bitch. I made that joke first, you son of a bitch.
Hey, I stole it. What can I say?
But that is our homework assignment, okay? I cannot wait.
I'm going to go right now and watch it so I can be up to date.
Until Var's poem. Can't wait. He's going to be the Maya Angelou of
Calm down,
of El Salvadorians. See you guys in the next pod. Peace!
Peace! Ugly mugs.